Tony Khan confirms talks with this major free agent, and CM Punk has responded to claims of the AEW locker room being a ticking time bomb. But first up, top New Japan Pro-Wrestling stars have discussed possible AEW dream matches. Ahead of the Forbidden Door pay-per-view this Sunday night, Hiroshi Tanahashi would speak with Sports Illustrated, where he would discuss his upcoming match with AEW World Champion MJF, as well as other potential matches with AEW stars. The Ace would share his feelings on the chance to challenge for the AEW World title, as well as giving his thoughts on the current champion, and he would say, "I feel very honoured to challenge for the AEW title. Just imagining myself becoming the AEW World Heavyweight Champion is pretty exciting. I have no respect for MJF, but I will say that for someone so young, he's got a lot of self-belief and conviction." As for other AEW wrestlers that he'd like to share a ring with, Tanahashi would name 3 of the company's top stars and said, "Claudio Castagnoli is a great wrestler. I know that he used to team with Shinsuke Nakamura, and that was an emotional link for me. I'd love to have a singles match against him. I want to wrestle CM Punk since I couldn't do it last year. I have wrestled Bryan Danielson once before when I was younger, but with him being one of the top wrestlers in the US and the world right now, I'd love for us to go again." Tanahashi would then express an interest in defending the never openweight 6-man tag titles that he holds alongside Tomohiro Ishii and Kazuchika Okada against CM Punk and FTR, adding that the idea sounds good to him. And speaking of Okada, he too would be asked about potential matches by Sports Illustrated, with one interesting name that came up being that of CM Punk. And Okada would first joke about Punk's relationship with the Young Bucks before choosing a location for the potential bout, and he would say, "I'm not sure, the Young Bucks are kind of friends of mine, but if fans want to see the match, I want to do it in Chicago." In the meantime, Okada will find himself across the ring from Bryan Danielson this Sunday night at Forbidden Door, a match that is now expected to main event the show over the huge title matches that are on the card. And before we continue, do you want to get your hands on this weekend's Forbidden Door pay-per-view for just $19.99? Well, if you use the combination of our NordVPN and Fight affiliate links, you can do just that. First, NordVPN allows you to change the location of your device in order to access websites and services that you wouldn't be able to use in your country, and in this instance, a whole bunch of countries worldwide can access Forbidden Door on Fight for the aforementioned $19.99, such as here in the United Kingdom. Although I would recommend using Lithuania, which appears to work better in my testing. Once you're connected, head over to our Fight affiliate link where you can see the pay-per-view for just that price. You'll also have access to the AEW Plus streaming service, which costs just $6.99 a month and contains every episode of All Elite Wrestling television on demand in one place. There is also a 7-day free trial if you just want to test it out. You can also watch Dynamite, Collision, and Rampage live and ad-free. So be sure to head over to our NordVPN and Fight affiliate links in the description below, the perfect tag team for any wrestling fan. Next month, New Japan Pro-Wrestling will kick off the 33rd annual G1 Climax, a tournament that will see 4 blocks of 8 wrestlers compete in a round-robin style group stage before advancing to the knockout round, similar to a sports league format. Speaking on the Pacific Rim podcast this week, AEW President Tony Khan, who is known to be fond of tournaments, would be asked if he would ever consider introducing a G1 style tournament to the AEW calendar, with him giving the pros and cons to the idea, and he would say, "The G1 Climax is a great event, and that style of round-robin tournament and all the stories you can tell through that tournament, it's a very, very unique event. And it certainly takes a toll on the participants to wrestle all those matches, but it can be a great place to breed young stars, and it certainly is an amazing event that New Japan has. The single elimination tournaments in AEW, we've never done a round-robin tournament, and it's something I am interested in." This year we'll see one All Elite Wrestling talent compete in the tournament, with Eddie Kingston set for his first ever stint in the prestigious G1 Climax, with him facing Tama Tonga, Tomohiro Ishii, and Bullet Club's David Finlay and others in the C Block. And now let's move on to some Major League Wrestling news, where a new champion has been crowned. One of the hottest stories in wrestling right now is the saga involving the Bloodline, although WWE isn't the only place that features members of the Anoa'i Fatu family. On this week's episode of MLW Fusion, Jacob Fatu would challenge John Hennigan, the former John Morrison, for the MLW National Openweight Championship, with the result adding more gold to the lineage of the historic wrestling family. In the end, it was Fatu's super kick, pop-up Samoan drop, and double jump moonsault that secured the victory, kicking off his first reign with the National Openweight title. The victory adds to his resume of one MLW World Heavyweight Championship, a reign that lasted 819 days. Next up, Tony Khan has confirmed talks with this major free agent. Since the expiration of his WWE contract at the beginning of 2023, the next move of former WCW World Champion Goldberg has long been speculated, with a self-promoted World Retirement Tour as well as a jump to All Elite Wrestling both being potential options. While speaking at this week's Forbidden Door press conference, AEW President Tony Khan would give more details on his talks with Goldberg, revealing that he has spoken to him about potentially joining the company. When asked if Bill was the mystery partner for Darby Allin and Sting at the Forbidden Door, Khan would say, "I have had nice conversations with Bill about being involved with AEW at times. It's a good thought. I don't know if it would be the perfect fit for who Sting and Darby are going to bring to Collision this weekend, but I also want to leave all the doors open for them and their partner for Forbidden Door. It would ideally be someone that would step in and be a good fit for the Forbidden Door show. Bill Goldberg is a legend in pro wrestling, one of the biggest names in the sport, and I have certainly had nice conversations with him at times." Whilst it's possible that Goldberg could appear as the mystery partner, which will be revealed on Saturday night on Collision, it's more likely that this spot will be filled by a New Japan talent, given the theme of the event itself. With that said, the possibility of an AEW debut for the man has been floated between both parties, something that could eventually materialize in the weeks or months ahead. But do you think we'll see Goldberg become All Elite before the end of 2023? Let me know in the comments down below. And next, CM Punk has responded to claims that the AEW locker room is a ticking time bomb. Earlier today, we discussed a report from Dave Meltzer in the Wrestling Observer newsletter that a top name in AEW told him that they went home after AEW Dynamite in a bad mood, describing the return of CM Punk a ticking time bomb that will not have a happy ending. This was then followed by a response from FTR's Dax Harwood, who revealed that the backstage mood at both AEW Dynamite this week and Collision this past weekend was not divisive, calling AEW a family. He would then call for whichever top star that felt this way to talk face to face. In an update on the story, CM Punk himself has taken to his Instagram story to respond to the claim in a joking manner, posting a photograph of himself in a dressing gown with the Rancid song Time Bomb playing in the background. Whilst this unnamed individual left AEW Dynamite with a bad taste in their mouth, it appears that this isn't necessarily the majority feeling across the board by all other accounts, and is a claim that both Punk and Dax are not willing to shy away from. And before you go, make sure you check out my predictions for Forbidden Door 2023.